Monday nights, we live. You don't feel season. That's right. Snap decision. You already know what it is. Yeah. Snap decision, yeah, we call it how we see it. You feel talk, yeah, you know we never keep a secret. Styling to the heart, yeah, we break it all down. Monday night, turn it up, yeah, we run this town. Snap.
Oh, did I fix this or did somebody fix it? Because it didn't just abruptly stop like it normally does.
Yeah,
It was
that's
kind of
normal.
it was kind of skipping a little for me, so I didn't really get to hear all of it. So
Yeah,
it was buffering a little bit for me.
dial up
normal.
BB.
Hey, you know
But yeah,
what?
no,
It's
like,
still not it's still not as bad as freaking Tayamu's interview the other day. Man,
Oh yeah, the
bro.
bad
Oh my
landing
God,
and
where
the
is his
action.
lighting? Well, happy
dude,
Monday, y'all. But for real,
he,
where was the
he,
lighting? I told you guys he looked like his name should have been anonymous. Like he was just
yeah,
a shadow.
no lighting, and I mean, dude was blurry. Like, I mean, he looked like me
Just like
when I
that,
was brought.
DJ. Just like that.
Yeah, he looks like me when I was broadcasting from freaking the the valley. So
Yeah, that was crazy. But welcome everyone. Happy
week 10.
Monday.
We just finished week 10.
Week 10. I'm gonna add you, homie. I see you in the back.
Oh, there he is.
Holler.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are we too early? Can I crack
Oh
my
no, go
beer?
ahead, pop your one.
Not this one. This one's a souvenir.
Oh goodness. We just talking about Chamo's terrible interviewing skills during the game. They had him posted up watching the game, and he was in a room, and he had the most terrible lighting, so he was literally just a dark figure that you just hear his voice and you just see the dark figure, but they could have done better for Boyd. Come on, he got you guys all the way there. Y'all gave him that bad lighting, didn't even tell him nothing. Get him a ring light, something
Got you at
You know,
least.
you know what would have made
for
it better?
real.
If they would have given him a crappy microphone and he would have sounded like the teacher from Peanuts. That would have been perfect. Wah,
Mm.
wah, wah, wah,
Yeah,
wah, wah.
like that's why I said his name should have just been listed as anonymous because you couldn't see
Yeah.
who you just if you didn't know what his voice sounded like, you didn't know it was him. But anywho, last week, season 10, season
Last
10,
regular season week. I mean,
season
it's
10.
crazy how
Week.
quick these 10 weeks have gone by.
Oh my God. I can't even like how are we already at the end? Like I mean, you have other football, but I mean, for those of
No,
us
no,
that
no.
are like all UFL, like hard, like it, we know this comes every season, but it even without a team, it came just as fast watching it from
Yeah.
home.
And I, I'm not dismissing that. I'm taking the opposite side. It feels like 10 weeks of football has happened. So
From listening to it.
with all the moves that have happened with, some of the craziness of the games, held this last week having a fight break out at a game, you know?
Ah,
Um,
so good.
Yeah.
and I agree with Brahma Babe, you know, being tired. I mean, hell, she's, been traveling all over the country to go to all these
All
different games.
10,
So
10 games.
I can get her being tired. Um, but it has felt like, regardless of what, old SAJ has had going on in the background here or in the forefront for me, it has felt like 10 weeks, right? Um,
Yeah.
I haven't really been, keeping full track, but I have been checking stats. I have been looking at the scores and, keeping track of things in that regard. Um, it has felt like 10 weeks. And for some teams, it's probably felt more like 15 because of, some of the coaching errors and some of the blunders and things like that.
Mm, heck yeah.
Not not necessarily trying to throw any one person under the bus or any
You want me
one
to?
team
Because
or
I
anything
will.
like that. Uh,
AJ,
I'm
Yeah, he was getting
that's
cooked.
that's kind of who I was alluding to specifically this last week. But
yeah.
I will say I did see a clip, and so flowers for this one example. There was a player verge of tears because he was so emotionally invested, and obviously things are not turning out the way that he wanted or intended. And I can understand that. I can feel that pain. AJ actually pulled him off on the side and said something really kind to him and said, "Hey, look, we fight our battles, we live to fight another day, right? Don't let this one situation or this one game or this one season dictate how your career goes. Continue to keep
Yeah.
fighting, and
Yeah.
you've got some good film. People will recognize that. People will see you. Trust the
Heck
process,
yeah.
right?" And so, in that regard, I want to give AJ credit. Maybe he wasn't the right choice for coach. Who are we kidding? He wasn't the right choice for coach, but he at least
He's
when
the
it
common
mattered
denominator is what
in
I'm
that
finding
one
out.
instance. Well, right, but I'm just saying, in this one example where he had a chance to shine, he did.
He
And so
seemed to connect with his players, and I will give him absolute credit for that. They all liked him. He gets along with them. He can kind of speak their language more than a lot of other coaches. I'll give him
right,
that credit all day long. But as
right. But
far
can
as
he control the
coaching
team?
and plays and schemes and all that stuff, absolutely terrible
Mhm.
job.
Well, I don't. I mean,
Messenger, I'll get you up.
oh, you can hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Huh? What?
Not, and I
I,
get you guys. I get you guys.
I can't
And
hear last
I'm gonna
place.
put,
I'm sorry.
Dang.
never mind.
Dang.
I bow out. I bow out. Never mind.
No,
No,
DJ, you're
I
fine.
wanted to
I'm
hear
just
what
messing
you
with you, bro.
said.
I have no chance to rip on you all season
Dang.
long. I got to
Hey,
take my one shot, or I can't.
honestly, I'm feeling like the Brahmas. Go to first to last. That's just how it happens. I gotta play it that way. It happens. Just happens to the best of us. But anyway,
So does that mean next season you're going to be out completely?
Damn!
That's a good one. That's a good
Too
one.
soon, BD. Too soon.
That's a good
Okay.
one. Just the Brahmas after they lost, the losing season. Then we just jump to a different team. Like DC, maybe win something. In real life, that's happening in real life. But anyway.
Hey,
So I like
DC,
I would want to play on the other side with this one because I feel like well, I think I'm with BD on this. Like, not the other side, like meaning like I'm going against everybody what they're saying, but I feel like
the other
BD on
side
this.
of
Like,
the
I feel like he wasn't that bad. You got to think too, like he's taking over a team. Like, it's a lot. It's a lot of the shoes to fill. It's a lot of shoes to fill. Taking over Skip Holt's job, where he actually called the plays. Like, and he's a new head coach. But we also got to remember, if this was a league opportunity for players, this is also a league opportunity for coaches. Maybe
Yeah.
he might bounce back next year if he stays. But I don't think he did that bad, guys. Like, he had a team that he had to pretty much take over on his own, and he had to get an OC at DC. So it's a lot to deal with. Everybody don't have good luck in their first season, so it might take time. Or he just maybe falls off a cliff and then don't be good the next season. So I will say, like, let's see what it looks like maybe next season if he comes back. But yeah, I think I'm with Brian on that one.
I'll kind of give my thoughts, I guess, when we talk about the Birmingham game, like kind of some of his coaching decisions in the game. But I mean, we say we get into the games already. First one,
Yeah,
Friday
because
night.
I mean, we're talking about St. Louis already. So
Yeah.
what a
St. Louis.
whopper. Like, that was Renegades and Battlehawks. I was not expecting that. Like, but again, I kept saying these are like disruptor games. Like, they were going to end the season strong.
And what have I been saying
Kind of recognize that.
the last 3 or 4 weeks? Dallas is due for a win. Dallas, they've been
And
close.
the week
They've
you
been
don't
almost
pick
there.
them.
They've been almost there. They're due for a win, and the week I don't pick them, they freaking win.
Like, I can't even imagine. Like, Luis was terrible. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like he's gonna retire after this. Like, there's just no like. I've never seen him get sacked by his own team. Like, I can't even imagine that. Like, I was just like, dang, this is brutal to watch. Like, I felt bad for him. Those spring
It's
teams.
they are St. Louis is absolutely just limping into the playoffs, just playing some of their worst football of the season.
Their
And
defense was holding it down, though. Let me tell you, Jay Wales and all of them, they are strong. That's the only thing that's going to get them through. If I don't think they start Luis next week.
I
I
don't
don't
know.
think.
I mean, do you go with the guy that you've had benched, for what is it, 5 weeks now?
Can he be any worse than Luis? Though he got sacked 8 times in one game. 8 times.
Guys,
I mean,
2 seasons ago, we had this exact same conversation with our own team.
Yeah.
I think you
We
roll
were
with
calling
Luis.
for the guy on the bench,
Roll with Luis. But
right?
the last time
Right.
they played,
They're
the last
gonna
time they played Louisville, they won. So you gotta look at that too.
But
So
Louisville,
I agree
though,
with you. The
That-
defense might
it-
keep
it-
him in. Defense might keep him in.
It's not the same. It's not the same
It's
Louisville
not.
that
It's not the same
they
Louisville.
played.
You're
That they
right.
played. So
You're right.
yeah,
Now,
they
different
figured it out.
right.
different mojo right now.
Louisville has gotten better.
Yeah. But
Louisville has gotten better. But you're right. I think they're going to roll with the guy, regardless of whether he's got the hot hand or not. He's QB1. They're going to roll him out with the expectation that QB2 might be going in.
you better
I-
be ready.
I agree. I
he's
think
gonna get
they
at least
start
quarter to see what
Perez,
he can do.
but I think Perez has a very short leash. So
Yeah. He's
Mhm.
got to be practicing right now. He's got to be.
especially with getting sacked so many times.
Ugh.
If you're getting beat up like that, you got to have a quarterback that can kind of move around a little bit. Perez ain't that guy anymore. So you go back to Frost, who at least he can move a little bit, when needed. So I do think we see Perez to start, but I wouldn't be surprised at all if Frost comes out.
Definitely got to limit the mistakes for sure. Like
Yeah.
if you come in, he got to limit the mistakes.
Yeah. But I knew I should have picked them. Like, I should have followed my own advice. But we didn't. So yeah. St. Louis lost and Dallas won the last game of the season, regular season. Then we did Gamblers and Stallions. And well, what do you know? They went all in.
Yeah.
So
Yep. The one time Houston shows up,
And
of course, I
people
didn't.
was picking them. So
I mean, they
Jackie
did
Brown
beat
would've
Birmingham
picked them.
twice this season.
I just think Birmingham has
True.
been steadily
True.
looking like trash. Like, they just can't get it together. AJ is not
They-
the coach for them.
They have been,
They did
and
fall off as the season went on.
yeah,
Like,
they
all I gotta
they
say
kinda
is I
picked it up
hope
once-
they fire their text again.
once
Get rid of
once
them.
DTR came on, like they started kind of getting in a groove, but they kind of flattened out a little bit. And I mean, Houston again, I expected Birmingham to come in. They had something to play for. They had a potential playoff spot. They had to win. They had to win to even have a chance. And that was just, I mean, they played from the start like they just didn't give a damn about making it to the playoffs.
Mhm.
And I said in our chat like that the entire game is some of the worst coaching I've ever seen in my life. The absolute inability, even the broadcasters, the entire game are saying, why don't you go to a quick offense? Go to your 2-minute offense.
Mhm.
DTR does not have any time to pass. He's, Houston is getting to him, can't do anything. You know what? Speed it up. Don't give Houston time to bring subs in. Just go straight to the line, run a quick offense. They weren't doing that. And even
Was
the interview
this
that they
the game where they would have done the 4th and 12 and they should have done it and they didn't?
Yes, no, they wasn't
At
the
the
4th
last
and
10
12.
minutes?
They
Or
they
the
had
4th
a four.
and
It was like a 4th and 7 or something like that, and they decided to punt it instead of going for it.
Yeah. And I was
Yeah.
like, I
And that
remember
was a
hearing
big
them
game,
say that.
and they never got the ball back. And again, that was another absolutely stupid coaching decision. And when they interviewed AJ, and they're kind of like, "Hey, what are you going to do to get DTR going?" He's like, I don't know. We're trying. Like, just completely defeated. He had no clue what to do. Like, just in that interview, he's just like, I don't even know. I don't know what to do.
Inexperienced coaching.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Just what I was going to say. You put a guy in a position in which he's unfamiliar with what to do. He's been on the quarterback of that and knows what to do from a player side. But to translate that into being a coach and telling your quarterback what to do, telling your offensive line what to do, your receivers, your defense, things like that, that's a whole different ballgame. So, yes, he was overwhelmed. He wasn't going to know what to do. It's kind of like what is it, Waterboy, where Henry Winkler had the football for dummies and kind of snuck back into the crowd and disappeared.
Yeah.
Kind of what AJ should have done. Right.
Yeah.
I mean, something that would have been something other than what he was doing, because he was just standing on the
He was
sidelines
just
clueless.
being a politician.
But again, right, and I think it's fair that we say this part. This is his first year, right? He was kind of voluntold, thrown into a situation that he was completely unfamiliar with, and he went 4-6. I mean, it could have been better. It could have been a hell of a lot better. All things considered, I mean, it wasn't as much of a train wreck, let's say, as it could have been. He could have gone 0-10. This game he was just out. He was overwhelmed, out coached, which is weird.
And dude, it's
right?
it's really sad when you
Right.
get out coached by Kevin Sumlin. So that's saying something.
True, but I mean, you know
When the
the saying about the
communication
sun
is
shining on
coaching
a
better
dog.
than you.
Yeah. So I would say, we're talking about what's his name? Perez being on a short leash rather. If AJ does come back, I've got a feeling he's going to be on an even shorter leash next year.
Oh yeah.
There's going to be expectations for him, but I also have to believe that he's going to get some mentoring from some other people, some other coaches, some other people that have been players and transitioned into coaching to help him maybe make that transition and give him a fair shot next season. I think that would be.
Yeah, I definitely think so. Now, as far as short leash for next season, we've never seen a UFL head coach fired in the middle of the season.
Not yet, but
we've seen
know,
coaching
They get
changes.
DUIs and everything. And they don't get fired.
Yeah, DUIs. I mean, we've seen coaches had to step aside because they were sick or whatever. We saw obviously Wade last year. We saw it with Memphis and stuff like that. But we've never seen one get fired. All the bad coaches. I mean, CJ Johnson, if he made it two full seasons of UFL football, AJ is going to be able to make it.
You're right.
So.
And he pulls the eyes.
Yeah.
Being in Bama, AJ McCarron, like that's what the league. And I think they one of the top markets, right? Viewing markets.
As far as viewership, I think so. We'll see. They're kind of starting to release some of the numbers and stuff, but they're usually consistently one of the top ones for viewership.
But I think it's also fair to say, right? As Sleepy always calls me out for, on the flip side, right? We've never seen a rule get changed in the middle of a season, and we've seen that this year, right? So it very easily could be that AJ comes back, does absolutely horrible. I was going to say something else, I'm not going to. It's BD's favorite saying off the air, of course, but and then he gets pulled, right? We just don't know. So I think the former is true rather than the latter, that he's going to get a fair shot and probably get some coaching and some mentoring himself to be a better coach, and then give him a fair shake at the opportunity.
Yeah.
Right.
You said it a few times, Jay. I mean, this was his first season coaching. Again, I mean, Brahmas fans, we know how a coach is in his very, very first season. We saw that last year.
Exactly.
A coach that had no coaching experience.
It
was
not necessarily Hines Ward. Because
Head coach.
did have coaching
Head coach.
experience.
Head
No,
coach.
yeah.
The head coach, yes, but AJ had no coaching experience, none whatsoever.
I mean, I think we specifically only talking about like head coaching experience. Like you because when you're a position coach,
Right.
obviously you only got to worry about your own position group. Whereas if you're a head coach, you got to worry about the offensive side of the ball, the defensive side of the ball, all of those position coaches on both sides of the ball. So it's a lot to worry about. Worry about clock management. Like those are a lot of things to.
Yeah, and a lot of stuff that he's had
I think
the
he's a GM
ability
too,
to
right?
process it as a quarterback, but
Right.
not as thinking of it, as everything. And I was specifically talking about Party last year. Again,
Oh, yeah, Party.
get
Right.
thrown
Right.
in. No head coaching experience, and it was a learning experience for him. He's better for it, but the team suffered last year because there was a coach that had no head coach, no in-game coaching experience. And I think it's realistic to say it's not a knock on Party. I don't think he didn't do a terrible job. He just didn't have experience. He didn't know what he didn't know. And so it was a learning experience. And AJ's got that same learning experience this year. He's going to take it. He's going to be better because of that.
I would argue that the people that you're talking about, Hines Ward, Party, guys like that, well, they didn't have head coaching experience. They still had coaching experience. AJ had no coaching experience. From what I can tell, he is not coached at all.
Yeah, he
So
came
go from a
straight. He
player
came straight from
being-
like player. So
Right. He had a much steeper
Yeah.
learning curve, and still did arguably. I mean, not what the fans want to see, not what you would say is a successful season, but he got 4 wins. Now, it's not all necessarily him. I mean, he's got offense coordinator, defensive coordinator, but all things considered, 4-6 is not so bad for a guy who's never coached a day in his life.
Mhm.
So I do think that there's potential there. As DJ said, I'm pointing the wrong way. He does bring in eyes, right? People are watching because of him, and so I do think that there's going to be a little bit more investment put into him to give him a better chance, because as we're seeing, a lot of this is about the viewership, right? That's kind of the driving force behind this league, is the eyes on TV. So if you've got a guy who is bringing in the eyes, but maybe not doing so great on the field, you fine tune him, you help him out, you get him better for the next season, because those eyes are going to be there. They're going to want to see him again, right? So you give him the opportunity to get better, and the next year when he does do a little bit better, then boom, you probably get more eyes, right?
Mhm. I hate
So-
talking so good about AJ and giving him all this.
In AJ's
Leeway.
defense as well, he did
Oh,
have
God,
to
here we
substitute a few
go.
quarterbacks too. So
Well,
Sorry, we're having
quarterbacks is the most important.
yeah. Again, he had a steep learning curve. That doesn't take it away from the fact that, again, this last game was one of the worst coaching games I've ever seen in my life. So whatever you want to call it, inexperience or whatever, it was a terrible coaching job. So
and fair.
yeah,
Fair.
Worse than CJ Johnson.
I think so. I think CJ would have made some of those changes. CJ is an absolutely terrible coach.
You don't know.
CJ
That's
is
always
a
enough. You can't do
terrible
that.
coach. CJ is a terrible coach.
He is.
I was,
But
I
I
was,
you know what? I
outright-
still think CJ would have moved to a 2-minute offense like in the second quarter of that game.
Look, man, I know I've watched a lot of coaches, and yeah. We'll see though. We'll see.
Yeah.
McCarron might be back though for sure. I believe so. If he
I can
wants to
see
come
that.
back.
I hope they
Although
just
I will
take the
say
team away completely.
there's a lot of Birmingham fans that do not want to see him back. So
Okay.
what'd you say? I missed what you said, Jackie. What?
I forgot. There's too much going on right now. My ADHD is going crazy. There's so many
Sorry. All right,
tabs and everything
we'll
happening.
stop chatting about the font, the difference of the
Oh my
font.
God, these guys are
Yeah.
going all
Yeah.
crazy because I changed the font. It was too small. sucks.
Okay,
We can
well,
go back to the original one. Ugh, it
let's
just doesn't
jump
How
to
have
do you
the
any
even
let's
have
jump
trouble
to
heart.
in
the
the
next
first place?
game. Let's jump to the next game. Louisville
Ugh.
versus Columbus.
No,
No, we
the next
totally
game is
skipped over
Let's
Orlando
jump
Orlando,
DC.
the next
DC.
The
game
next
is
game is
Louisville
Orlando
versus
DC.
Columbus.
Come on.
The next
Come on,
game is
Orlando
DJ.
and
Louisville versus
DC. Come on,
Louisville
give the
versus.
Bean Dip some love. Give the Bean Dip some love. He tried. He tried. He
It,
tried.
All right,
is
Yeah.
so
DJ
so
trying to
you,
skip
you've
over
seen
this because DC lost?
yeah, absolutely. You've seen Bean Dip, you've seen Sanders.
Yeah.
Who are you going with for the playoffs?
Oh, Jason for sure. Jason for sure.
All right.
Jason
And
Bean at a 47.5 QBR.
Rolling with the frijoles, huh?
did you watch
The
the
refried
game?
beans.
Did I watch any game?
Well, if you watch the game, that QBR doesn't speak for a lot of stuff that he did in the game. Where I was like, oh, okay. Like
I will say
he did make a lot of good plays. Like, I mean, minus the bad plays he did make, he made a lot of good plays on his feet where, you extending the plays.
yeah.
So,
True, but those numbers are a little bit skewed because of that 147-yard rush, right? So
he
he's
rushed a
getting
lot,
10 and a
though.
half yards per rush. Huh?
That's a lot.
I'm not saying it's not a lot. I'm just saying
Oh,
that the numbers are skewed. He rushed for
oh yeah, but
116 yards on 11 attempts, but one of them was a 47-yard rush. So, of course, the yards per carry is going to be a little bit skewed.
right, but he
So,
did get when he was running, he did get a lot of first downs. So even if you say like that
I mean, he was still
47 yard
even
run,
take out that 47-yard rush, you're still at almost 7 yards a carry for the other 10 rushes. So,
moving the ball.
he's moved the ball, and he was making decisions when the pocket broke down and stuff like that. So I do think he puts you guys in a better position to win. Is it going to be enough?
The mistakes, man.
The mistakes. Yeah.
So I'll give you that. Like, I mean, I can give you, but I still feel as like watching both, I still feel like Jason has yeah, he's the worst. He's the best of both evils, I guess we want to whatever I've used say that term. That phrase. Like
Why
yeah.
isn't Jordan in there whispering in their ear? Why can't he just sit on the sideline and do it?
Because he can't get a freaking internet connection to talk to him.
Ugh.
Well, they did sign EJ Perry too, so maybe being in a
He
short
was
leash, or
learning
maybe
he sounded like he was like me. What they had hired him on Tuesday, and they already had him on the
the offense.
sideline calling plays. Yeah, like he had already learned a lot of it.
Yeah.
I don't think the offense is as complex as a lot of people think. It's just I think it's more on a simpler side where I mean obviously if you got a player that comes in, within 2 days he kind of knows majority almost all of the offense. I just think you have to run it. You have to run it efficiently and not turn the ball over and make mistakes. Like you giving the ball away.
The offense has to be hand the ball off to Deion Jackson and Abram Smith. That has to be 75% of the offense. Make short, smart passes. Don't do anything stupid. That's what DC has to do.
Don't do anything stupid.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's all I need to hear on the sideline. Don't do anything stupid.
I mean you got weapons, man. You got to utilize them, and then the bonehead passes, like I mean, I think one of them was like tipped up, and then like those type I get it, but the bonehead underthrown ones, like the floaters that like those type, you gotta you can't make those mistakes. I think, like I said, I believe if EJ looks good this week, I can see Jason being on a short leash.
Yeah,
I mean,
I definitely, and I mean, EJ's had success in the league. It's been a couple seasons, but he's had success. So obviously, we see how that's worked out for other quarterbacks. Matt Corral but if Bean Dip is not doing well, I can see Perry getting some reps out there.
Yeah,
I definitely
sure.
think
Yeah, I mean,
Perry's going to be number 2 over Sanders.
For sure. For sure.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, it's the reason why you bring him in. So
Yeah.
mhm. Well, I mean, this is a playoff game, so this matters. It's not like you
exactly.
can just phone it in. So, yeah, I
Well,
mean, Bean should be
we'll find
on
out.
a short leash if he's not able to get it done. But then again, right, we said the same thing with our team, and they kept a certain quarterback in for entirely too long. So
Oh,
The
Cone,
whole
that's
season too
on
long.
the coaches.
Cone.
Oh, yeah. So I'm just saying, right? We've seen
I thought you
coaches
I thought you were
make
talking about Mond.
Him too.
well,
That's
that
what
was
I thought he
another
was
one.
talking about.
That was
Yeah.
another one.
Yeah.
Okay,
Both.
2 seasons worth. 2 seasons worth. Okay. Um, but yeah, we've seen coaches rely too much on what they think, like it's the definition of insanity, right? Keep doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. So some coaches do have that habit. Let's hope that doesn't happen in DC. If the old bean dip there isn't getting it done, let's hope coach says you got to go. Number 2, you're up, because that's going to be their best chance at winning this game.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But I mean,
All
that's
right.
kind
Last
of stating
game.
the obvious, Mr. Obvious.
Last game, y'all. Last game was the best game. Like we were
Boo,
talking about this in chat. Louisville
boo.
and Columbus. Like
Is this the one where you said
they
this is a boring ad game?
Yeah, she did.
at one point, yeah. But
The
then when
second
the fight
half,
started happening, like that, like we're like,
dude.
oh,
How
this
about
is
that?
like
Like that was
natural rivalry.
that was a fight. That was a fight, man. And you
They
even you
were
even had the
winning.
crowd chanting, "Fight, fight, fight, fight!" Like
I was like,
that was
it's
the
fun.
favorite part. My favorite part of everything was just hearing the crowd chanting "fight" in the background. Like, I mean,
Something we would do. Something so
I know
stupid.
exactly. Like
But we know. Oh, go
I
ahead. Go
fell
ahead,
in
bro.
love with the Columbus crowd right there. Like just hearing they were having an absolute blast with it, and
When
I was loving every minute of it.
when I saw who was at the end of it, I was like,
Oh yeah.
Cam Dantzler, bro. Like
Yep.
you are a firecracker. Even in San Antonio, remember I was chirping back and forth with him.
Yeah.
Man, he's a
It had to be a
firecracker.
Brahma.
Yeah.
And then
Well,
there was
he was played for Memphis. He played for Memphis.
Oh no, yeah, he was in
Mhm.
Memphis.
Yeah,
because he played for us
Yeah.
2 years ago. Then he played for Memphis last year.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
and yeah, so that
Dang.
what was it?
I wouldn't claim him as a Brahma. He's a showboat.
So
Coach Redmond
At the end of it.
after that, he was like, "You good? Whatever." He's like, "Yeah, I'm good." He's like, "Well, you ain't too good because you're out of the game."
He rejected.
nice.
I love him
I
as a
will.
coach. Like he is my favorite coach.
Yeah, he started to kind of win me over the course of this season. Like just
I think
He
of
just-
the
he's-
UFL episode.
he's a great dude. And yeah, I think that fourth and goal kind of opened him up a little bit. Kind of you learned a little more about him and just seeing him on the sidelines and just stuff like that. I mean, I'm a sarcastic jackass too, so I love it.
Are
Mhm.
you talking about Bryce Thompson? 'Cause I got his jersey too, so
Yeah, that's why she keeps saying it.
I know that's fine. I like him though. He's
What
scrappy.
Dave said, I 100% agree with. There's a reason why some of these guys are at this level and
Yeah.
not necessarily going any higher, right? I can
Yeah.
understand a fiery, passionate player, but losing your business like that, if you can't conduct yourself at your workplace, you probably are not at the right workplace,
That's good for each
And I
other.
get it, man. I understand the passion, I understand the heart, I understand the drive, especially if, you know, like for example, we watched the football game this weekend and saw arguably what could be called favoritism. Okay. None of our players lost their minds when there were obvious holds, there were PIs, things not being called because our team was dominant. The other side of the ball, those guys were losing their dang minds, right? Let's relate it back to the fight here. I can understand getting passionate, but when you lose your cool when you start taking swings at people and stuff like that, you pretty much signed your death warrant there
Yeah.
because they're not going to want to bring that into an NFL organization. They've got no room. They've got no
No matter
time.
how good you are.
And
Yeah.
not just it wasn't weird. It wasn't even just like kind of a random thing. Like it was a former teammate he punched. You know,
Yeah.
like
Oh, at that point, they're in it for themselves. They don't care.
yeah, like I mean, it's just so weird. And I don't know a whole lot of what kind of led up to it. You saw kind of some of the receiver and the defensive back kind of going at it. It looked like Cam's punch just kind of came out of nowhere. So
Well, again, I not that I'm justifying it, but we don't know what was said on the field. We don't know how much was said on the field. We know there's a lot of things that are said on the field, though. And we'll actually be talking to a player tomorrow on Texans Talking Football to get some of that inside scoop stuff, right? But we know these players are playing with passion and with heart, and there's going to be a lot of emotion in it. And so that's not justifying it, but you can see how you're adding fuel to the fire. So you're playing all game, things are being said back and forth. Somebody says the right thing, perhaps it's, your feet stink or, your mom's feet don't match or something. Like you don't know.
Your mom's feet don't match.
His
What in
reaction's
the
the best.
world? That's the weirdest thing I've ever heard in my life. Your mom's foot's longer
Well,
than the other. Stupid.
that's the
or
kind
wear
of things that I
two
would
sizes
say.
shoes.
Yeah, that's the kind of things that I would say to mess with people's heads.
You gotta buy two pairs of shoes because you got two different feet.
Exactly. Um, just flop, 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 flop. That's how your mama walks. Anyway, like I would say things like that to mess with people. Just
I mean, it's it's going
mess with them.
in the trash talking bag. Just it's definitely it's getting pulled out. It's getting pulled out at a game for sure.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
again, we don't know. It's not justified, but we don't know what was said. But whatever it is, it was enough to trigger a reaction.
Yeah.
And that's the thing we need to kind of focus on, right? It's kind of no different than the interaction with the St. Louis fan and the Michigan player, right? We don't know what was said up until the point we barely, well, I say we barely, we got verification that there was some bodily fluid exchange, which if somebody spit on me, I'd slap snot out of them too. Plain
Yeah,
and simple.
for sure.
Because I mean, assault is assault, no matter what.
Mhm.
But we don't know what was said up until that point that triggered the St. Louis fan to spit on the St. Louis player. Not justified at all. But once that fan crossed the line, I mean, dude got what he got. In this situation, we don't know what was said. But that player chose to react with violence. And so he got what he got, you know? So
Yeah,
I'm just-
I mean, I guess. I mean,
again,
we're kind of moving past the point a little bit of I love seeing the fight and I love the crowd reaction to the fight. It was great.
Mhm.
So
And then we were coming up with our own like, oh, this is gonna be a natural rivalry, only 3 hours apart, blah 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 blah. Like we made up our whole scenario, our own
dude, they
thing.
were
Like
I mean,
I want to see
that
them
one
play
fight was
Columbus
kind of
now.
the culmination, or I guess not even that, because it was getting scrappy the whole game. Like there was a lot of kind of
Yeah.
extracurricular all game long. And so
It
I
was
do
fun.
like this is again, they're only 3 hours away, so that's a short drive. Obviously,
It's
we know
natural.
it's that's gonna be that's gonna be a nice little rivalry kind of in the years to come. So I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Yeah,
So
I
he
mean, so
did.
much. I'm like, first game, I definitely want to do opening season in Louisville, and then I've always wanted to do the Columbus. I wanted to do Columbus this year too, but I want to see Columbus play Louisville in Columbus just to be a part of that also.
Yeah.
He did take to his IG and issue an apology. And he says, "I apologize for my actions. That was real dumb and unprofessional of me. But I want to apologize for looking out. He said I won't apologize for looking out for my teammate. Could have handled it a different way, but I'll take full accountability of what I did."
That was Cam.
That was Cam. Yeah.
Yeah.
there's that at least, right? So there's at least some ownership of it. understanding that he made
He
a
was
mistake.
he was just sticking up for somebody that was probably getting bullied
Mm-hmm.
by another player.
Look, I'm with Brian again on this, but I hate to, but I don't promote it. I don't coach this, but I do promote sticking up for your teammates. Now,
Yeah.
if it has to result in swinging on somebody, again, I don't promote it. We can have a conversation out there. I mean, it's you got to play both, because you have to
Yeah.
in that mode you want to be a coach, but on the flip side, you get why the team is the way it is. Like you get why that's how the camaraderie, that's how the chemistry and all that stuff is built in the team, because it's always I got your back, you got my back type of thing.
Well,
I want to see the fight. I look. We in
As
an
a fan,
entertainment
yeah.
business. I'm gonna be real. We in an entertainment business. That fight has been seen everywhere.
Yep.
Everybody's talking about it. It's bringing eyes to the league. Do they want to promote violence? And no, they don't. But I want to see the fight, just like hockey.
Just like hockey, just like I mean, you know what?
Just like basketball, we want to see the fight.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
We, it's as the fans, as the entertainment, it's great entertainment. Obviously, it hurts your team. Obviously, you don't want to put your team in a bad position.
Coaches know that.
Violence is never the answer until it's the answer, and it was really fun to see.
Why you give us that 15-yard penalty, and then guess what you're gonna say in the locker room? Hey, I appreciate you for sticking up for your teammate.
Yep.
That's all you're gonna say.
I agree that it builds camaraderie, and it definitely, right, the guys are in the trenches. Somebody sacrifices themselves for the team to stick up for a teammate. It's going to build stronger bonds. It's going to fire those
brotherly love
juices, if you will. Well, the brotherly love, but it's gonna fire that camaraderie up even more, and they're gonna play even harder because their teammate just sacrificed himself for the rest of you guys. However, I would still say, asterisk, there's a place in sports for fighting, and it's called hockey. Okay, that's hockey. You went to a boxing match and a hockey game broke out. Like that's what hockey is.
But why have pads that can't fight?
Do what?
Why have pads that can't fight?
Because the pads are to protect their body. Never mind. I'm not going to get into that with you. I don't necessarily watch football for fights.
I do.
I don't watch it for fights, but I enjoy it when occasionally they break out.
It's an aggressive sport, and it to the point where it can turn to a fight if you get impressed at that line by somebody that's better. We know how that goes. Like you get impressed by a defender, and they talk. Mind you, we don't know what they say on the field during a game, but I know it's a lot of trash.
Mama got two different sides.
We know some of what they say on the field now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I've watched a ton of the mic'd up clips and the stuff like that to actually hear what they're saying on the field, and it's just freaking hilarious. So
even Brady was talking trash.
Yeah.
So it's part of football. And the fighting, no, but it spices up a little bit. I mean, it makes people watch. Like they that's what they want. They want to pull the views.
I hate to use this old term, but
well, you are
dancing
old,
on the
so
razor's edge.
Wipe the dust off of it. Come on, give it, share it.
Right, you're dancing on the razor's edge, right? You've got to walk this very, very fine line between a violent game and not turning it into violence. Okay. Once in a while, I mean, I get it. Sometimes things are going to happen. We've seen it even at the pro level. Okay, where guys have gone off. Okay. I don't want this to become the new norm, where hey, it's a boxing match and a football game broke out. You know what I mean? So I think I
would absolutely agree with that. I don't want it to happen all the time, all that stuff.
But it's not bad when it does.
It ain't happening all the time.
Yeah,
that was the one and only one.
That's how rivalries start. That's why DC and St. Louis don't like each other. It all started from that.
I thought it was because
from a
St. Louis
measly
was
little
trash.
fight.
Nobody liked St. Louis.
That too, but
Yeah.
if you go back
That's,
to
that's
you go back,
detail.
it was a back and forth, and every time they played back then, even when it was in the XFL, they would fight. It was
Mhm.
like that. They didn't
Yeah.
like each other.
So just to answer your question earlier, Jackie, that phrase that Jay just said, some of its roots were coined back in the 5th to 8th century BC.
AD,
So
beast.
Back when I was in
In
high
the
school,
Roman
BD was in middle
period,
school.
bicentennial. Oh my
yeah.
god.
So
I'm just saying.
it's a little
Old
dated, but that's good.
little, oh my god, it's like on a stone tablet. Anywho,
That's what my
but
diploma's on.
like, it's chiseled out all Flintstone style.
Yep.
Anywho,
The 15
I was going to
commandments,
share
the
right
10
next to
commandments.
I want to share this to remind everybody of what our week 1 crazy picks look like. This is a reminder of the power standings of us not knowing anything about any of the teams and just going based off of what we knew and maybe some of the people that were on it we knew about our guys being spread out. But this was our week 1, which is a little funny.
What is
Not
this?
team fight. No,
This
this is
isn't
our
the
week
team
1.
rankings. This isn't
Not
the team
anymore.
rankings.
This was just week 1.
This isn't standings. What is this? This is
Yeah,
wrong.
what is
Yeah.
this?
This isn't standings.
They haven't even played yet. How do you know?
How do you know?
Why
That's
isn't
not
St.
what
Because
Louis
we're
in the wall?
expert analysts, of course.
That's not
We're
what
the
the league's
analysts.
website says. You guys have it wrong.
I know. What a
Dang, I wish we can go back and pull up the clip of what I said week 1 too.
DJ, you know what? I was actually going to give you props. You did say from like the week 1 that you thought Louisville was going to be a dangerous team. I absolutely remember you saying that. So good job calling that. Now, of course,
but I didn't know.
Hold on.
Hold on. Throw this in there real quick. Throw this version in.
No. Let me finish.
That Jackie was going to flip from being a Renegades fan to a Louisville fan.
Oh,
I'll say
no.
that.
BD got me on that one too.
Hold on.
BD got me on that too.
You said that Louisville was going to be a dangerous team. They were not a dangerous team until they cut the starting running back that they had and traded away the starting quarterback that they had. So, you know what? It took completely different players for you to be correct. So,
well, I mean, I guess, but the coach stayed the same. So, and we were just talking about who the coach was, right?
At the end of the day, you made a correct call. So good job for that.
And after that, nothing is correct because BD correct you on that too. I never said I was a fan.
Jay,
you said I was a fan.
Jackie, nope. I need Jay help on this. Jay
probably don't even remember the first episode.
Are you backing out on this?
I said I was gonna support.
Jay, what did we all talk about in the chat when we was talking about before the season and all our teams and all that stuff? What she said? She was like, "I'm gonna be Dallas this, Dallas that. I'll be going. I feel more of a family there." What she say?
Exactly. I was gonna support them.
Well,
Jay, you can be honest, Jay.
Hold up. I do distinctly remember somebody, or vaguely remember somebody saying something about being Brahmagade. So, I mean, I'm just throwing that out there.
I was supporting the league, supporting my next fan base that was like family to me.
Right.
I said support.
Allegiance.
No.
I said support. When you guys have some concrete proof, we could go with it. But the fact that you guys are so into who I support at the end of the season, like it's crazy.
About chocolate
Let
cake,
me be a fan of who I want to be. Let me be a fan of who I want to be. It's not hurting you except for what my team.
If you had the chocolate cake, you would be all about it too. All right, that stuff's delicious.
Not be a Renegades fan though.
I don't care who you're rooting for. That chocolate cake's delicious.
No,
again, from what I remember, Jackie never said that she was going to be a fan of Dallas. She said she was going to root for him. She said, she was going to support them, but she was never going to be a fan. She was going to be a fan of the league who was rooting for Dallas. Just kind of like, I never said I was going to be a fan of DC. I said I was going to root for him. So
yeah.
That is
and
fair.
now that the season has unfolded, and I'm
wait. I gotta add this. So till this day, Brian, who do you root for?
I root for my picks. All right.
The winner?
Okay, a
Oh,
team. I want to see. Yeah, I mean, still, but my point is like have your team that you quote unquote rooted for. Mind you, that mean they still in the playoffs and everything. It's not like they the bottom of the barrel or anything like that. But it's still is your team that you rooting for, quote unquote, is still DC.
probably not.
No, not really.
Oh man.
But again, I'm not
You
rooting
by
for.
yourself, bro.
I'm not rooting for any specific team though. Like I'll root for DC one week, and then I'll root for St. Louis or Birmingham, or I'll root for another team another week. I'm making my picks of who I think is going to win, and I'm rooting for that team to win. Like that is absolute straight honesty. I do not have a set team that is like I hope they win every single week. So
y'all before the season started, y'all said this is the team that I'm going to be rooting for this season. You even talked
We're
about
not allowed
getting
to
a
change our
DC.
mind at all.
Not Jay. Jay, the only one that didn't have a team. He was just like, I'm rooting
And
for
he
the
didn't
league.
watch any games either.
Everybody else said they had a team that they was going to root for before the season started. Now,
absolutely. I said I was going to support and root for DC. And you know what? I'm not.
See what I go through on a daily basis.
I am not like diminishing my support of DC. I'm not saying, well, I don't support them anymore. I'm just saying I support whatever team I pick to win that game. So,
Point of order. Jay did watch football this season. Okay, I caught about 3 minutes of one of the games when I was with Converse Brian at his comic book convention thing because it happened to be on at the hotel bar, and I was like, "Oh, UFL," and then I kept walking with all the other comic book people. Whole different story. We'll talk about that later. And then week 8, I did turn it on for about 15 minutes. The problem was it was at halftime, and so that's all I saw. So, but I did watch. My viewership counts. The Nielsen ratings did register me as watching. So there you go.
Lord.
Absolutely.
Oh.
So without you can subtract the viewership by 2.
1, because there's only on one TV. It only counts on TVs, not how many people are actually watching.
Well, I mean the game you watched 3 minutes of, and the game you watched the halftime of. So that's 2.
Yeah, so that's
two watches you're accountable for.
2
That's
views.
2.
Yeah.
Anywho, here's where we ended up in the power rankings at the end of the season. So if your team's at the bottom, it's because you didn't make it. Do better next season.
What is this? This isn't the standings. What is this nonsense?
Oh my God.
Why isn't St. Louis at the top?
Yeah, they beat Louisville. They beat whatever. Oh my God.
Why isn't Houston at the top? They won.
Look, don't even get me started on that BS. Don't even get me started. Look how much we've talked, and we haven't even gotten to a few things that we need to get to.
Yeah.
What do we need to get to?
Oh Lord. Oh Lord.
Loaded.
3-1. Hello? 3-1?
I remember the first time I went 3-1.
Yeah. And I'm so happy.
I don't remember the first time I went 0-4.
Well, there you go.
First time for everything, y'all.
Hey, yeah,
Look,
you can take all the shots you want, BD. I'm still over 50%, and I've watched 3 minutes of the entire season. So,
well,
right?
hold on, that shot's coming next here.
Yep.
I mean, me and Jackie tied. And DJ, how are you listening to a guy that's watched 3 minutes all season long?
Hey, like I said at the beginning, it happens to the best of us, man. That's all it is. It's all good.
Yep.
That's what happens when you get emotionally tied to one team and you're forced to pick them all the time.
And
I literally picked
24-16
Orlando last game.
You hop fan bases?
I picked Orlando both weeks. No, I didn't.
Well,
I'll pick Orlando this past week.
Because DJ didn't want to pay, you guys cannot really get mad at him for his picks this week because he was like refusing to do playoffs. But BD and I are, unless BD and I choose differently for championship, then it just might be tied. But I crawled my way up. So DJ's
Yep.
the only one. Like, what if DJ gets it? Like, who knows?
Yep.
Funny things that
I'm
happen.
glad
Like,
I'm
I
against
mean,
everybody.
He
This
can
is
pull
what
off the upset.
the UFL wants. They want St. Louis and DC again.
I don't know.
I
Imagine
disagree.
two brand new teams.
I disagree.
They
I
want
think
St. Louis
That's their
and
new
I
DC.
think
fan
they
base.
want their shiny toys in the
They
championship game.
them again this year.
Nope. I think they want their
They
shiny
want
toys
Kings,
in the
Rapoli's Kings to be in there.
well, the Rapoli Storm too.
Yeah.
So
Although I
mean,
will say, DJ, I think when they
Every
when they
week that Jackie's wore the shirt,
when they did away with
they win.
when they went away with the divisions and just opened it all up, I do think this was
Maybe
kind of
your
what
OC
they had hoped
switches.
for, because DC and St. Louis has been I mean, a big rivalry all the way through the XFL and all that. So I think this was something they wanted to see in the championship. But I mean, dude, neither team is playing good at all. So I don't see either one of them winning.
yeah. Well, hang on.
I mean,
I
St.
will
Louis
say
is beat
that
up.
the
So is
the
Defenders.
St. Louis Louisville game for me was not necessarily a hard choice, right? Louisville's been on a surge lately. St. Louis has been on a slide, so that one's pretty easy to pick. The DC Orlando game, that one was a struggle for me. Yeah, DC is kind of having, some problems, but it's still DC. You can't completely count them out. And so this was a tough pick for me, and I wouldn't be surprised if I was wrong. 100%. So again, this is
I just the only Anthony Beck is the coach of the Storm. That would be the only reason that I could see the Storm collapsing, is because that's the Anthony
true.
Beck special. Collapsing the
But
playoffs.
he's due for it. He's due. It's his
Is he?
year.
Or is he due for another loss?
Yeah.
That's
No.
Beck is part of the
Can
X
you
factor here.
imagine that? First seed and you still lose.
Yeah.
Isn't that wild?
Lose to a team with no quarterback, or on their third, maybe even fourth quarterback. And I mean,
Beck
the defense
is the Cowboys of the UFL. You meant
no. St. Louis is the
Yeah.
Cowboys of the NFL. We've already determined
no,
that.
Anthony Beck is the Cowboys of the UFL.
No.
Yes. And
think
if the trend continues, it would really be Anthony Beck. No matter who he coach, he's going to be the Cowboys of the UFL. Does good in the regular season, just the plummets in playoff.
I would say he's more like the Mike McCarthy or the
That's true.
who's another coach we can think of that always gets to the big game
Mike McCarthy got a
and then
ring,
falls
right?
apart.
Tomlin.
Tomlin's a good reference. There's probably a couple of other ones. McCarthy did have a ring, but it was an onion ring, and so that's a whole different story. So,
It's a new ring.
I got a bag
You
on
have
McCarthy.
the
I'm sorry.
craziest dad jokes I've ever heard.
I'm sorry.
onion ring
It's
is crazy.
McCarthy. The only coach I've ever seen that's on the sidelines, and instead of having a playbook, he's got a Denny's menu. Okay, so sorry, BD. You know it's true.
Oh, absolutely.
You pointed out to me.
Absolutely.
Oh my god.
So
I
Trying to see if
cannot.
I had a menu or something around here that, look like them, but I don't have one.
you can
Well, here we
imitate McCarthy.
go. Let's get into this. This is what BD wanted to do. He wanted to be all extra this episode.
Big surprise there.
Hey, you know what? I thought it would be a fun little conversation. All right. I didn't know we were going to spend an hour talking about everything else. So,
Okay, well, let's
It's the
dive in.
last
You got
regular
2 minutes.
game. Yeah. Let's go. Who's your MVP?
Jack.
I think Jack Plummer is just going to run away with it.
Jack.
That's for sure.
The UFL. Let me
That's
do
the
this.
QB for Orlando. You're so
He
funny.
didn't know.
Probably not, but just letting you know. All right, let's do Coach of the Year. I mean, that's not who I would like.
Probably Redman.
I would say him
You know,
for sure.
I'm gonna say Beck because Orlando went 8-2 this season. Brand new team, brand new environment. You know, brand new
They
city,
always
all
give
that
it
stuff.
to the highest rate.
And that's you know, it's a tough thing to do to play that well. I do
He's ready to
think
fist bump him.
I think Redmond has a legitimate case the way he's turned the team around, but I just think Orlando's been so good, steady across the year. You kind of I think Beck gets it kind of, you know, by that. I think Redmond if he wins it, that's like my heart's pick, but I think Beck, you know,
When is
Okay.
the award given? Is it before the playoffs or after the playoffs? Or after the championship?
they announce it. Don't they announce it like the week in between the week of? Like between the championship or
So between Monday and Friday,
the
of
first
next
round of
week.
the championship, I think that was when they announced them.
Because if you have Louisville in the championship, there's no way you can't give Redmond the.
Yeah.
But it's a regular season award,
So that's what I'm saying. Like, are they? Yeah.
I
Is
think
it
the
a regular
vote-
season award?
I think the votes are already coming in.
Or is
And
it of the year, like the whole season, or just regular season?
I believe it's regular season. As far as what I have heard, what as far as I know, it's a regular season award. So
Okay.
All right. Fun. Jordan
I'm trying to
Williams.
go up the stat sheet.
Jordan Williams.
so my choice for this one is Cam Gill from
I got
from
Cam
Louisville.
too.
Yeah. I mean, he had 10 sacks, 11 tackles for losses. I think he led the sacks by 3, for the league. I think the next closest was 7 sacks. So
7.5.
7.5, yeah. So,
Yeah.
a good distance, for over a 10-game period to
I think an argument could be made here though for Tay Crowder, just in the simple fact that he played 9 games. He had 83 total tackles, 43 solo, and 2 tackles for loss. An argument could be made there. Yeah, the sacks are important, but so are the tackles just in general.
yeah.
So maybe Cam, and then runner up Tay.
I can see that.
So, but that's what I see.
All
DJ
right,
disappear on us or what?
Much like his hopes of taking that trophy back keeping the trophy this year.
Dang.
Yeah. I'm sorry, DJ. Okay. Did we
Offensive
talk
player of
about?
the year.
So for this one, I'm picking everyone's favorite, Hakeem.
Yeah.
I just he only played 9 games. He led the league in receiving yards, and I mean, really, he's kind of been a game changer for St. Louis. He bailed out Frost. I don't know how many times with a short screen pass that he broke, for 70 yards or whatever. So,
Yeah.
Well, I do. There's a lot of other. Deion Jackson was a great choice too for DC. But I think Hakeem probably.
Yeah, I have to agree. I mean, averaging 71 yards per game basically.
Yeah.
That kind of that puts it away. He's pretty much leading yards by reception, yards per game. About the only one he's not leading is receiving touchdowns, and even then, his utility yards helped set up those touchdowns that St. Louis was able to score. So that has to count for something also.
All right, special
So-
teams.
What you think, DJ Hall? DJ didn't say offensive player.
I think y'all was talking about Keem, right? I agree.
Okay.
Yeah.
I agree. If you can't give it to Jack, so it'll be King.
Yeah.
I don't know, Morton. Come on.
Special team. I don't know what we. I mean, are we going off of like? I don't think nobody. I mean, I would probably give it to Lucky. I would give it to Lucky for returns. Like he's. I don't know who else. Like, 'cause I really haven't been really. I didn't even think they was giving out a special team award. And if it's nobody tearing up the league like Turpin did when he was in, I don't really see
Yeah.
nobody. Like it's hard to give out that award. I mean, everybody kind of. But the person that sticks out to me the most that I've seen from watching the games would probably be Lucky Jackson, Louisville.
So
You
Sean
know, I
Fresh
mean, really,
I was going to say Sean Fresh of St. Louis uh, has Lucky beat 340 yards. He averages 10.6 yards, and his longest return was 50.
Okay, who's behind
yeah,
it?
I mean,
Who's behind it?
looking at Lucky's stats. I mean, he has punt returns, 9 punt returns for 106 yards, and he doesn't have any kick returns. So, like, it's not that impressive. I think Sean Fresh is a great choice for that. I went with the kicker. I went with Tanner Brown.
I would
Broke
agree with
broke
that.
the UFL season record for most field goals,
What
kicking
team is
at
he on?
kicking at 90% almost, 89 point something or whatever. Hit
Mhm.
hit a couple 60-yarders. So
What team is he on?
Louisville.
Oh, okay.
Louisville. So
So do they
I
give
agree
it?
with
They give it to kickers. They give it to returners. Which like punters? Would anybody?
I think any special teams player. Jake Bates
Yeah.
got it. A couple years ago. I don't remember who got it last year. I actually saved it last year. So, Kendrick Whitehead got it last year. I think he was a returner with the Panthers. So, it's not just a kicker only or returner only or anything like that. But
Mhm.
you know what I found weird though when I was kind of doing a little bit of research looking at this. There were 0 punt returns for touchdowns this
They didn't
season.
punt a lot.
There was 1
Wow,
kickoff
yeah.
return for a touchdown.
Who did that?
It was
Just one?
Houston, just one. Week 1 when we were there, Houston and Dallas.
Oh, that's
Mm.
right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Who
Tyler
did
Hudson.
it
Week
return?
1 seems like so
No,
far
no.
ago.
Hang on, BD. Tyler Hudson had a kick return for a touchdown.
Oh,
I don't know when, but he's the only one that's credited in the top
yeah.
10.
You know what? You're right. So I guess maybe they're
Maybe there are 2.
maybe the Houston
Liar.
guy had one because Houston had that for that one week 1. So maybe it's just maybe they're just showing the top. Maybe they're just showing the top 10 and not everybody.
Well, and I was going to say maybe that was the only thing he did, and
Yeah.
so it's not going to compare with everybody else's stats. But so there's at least 2 that we know of. But again,
Okay.
yeah,
I guess
Maybe
what
there was a
happened-
punt return then. He just didn't do anything else. He didn't get within 71 yards for all his other kicks. So
he ran out the end zone and just kept running.
Kept
Just
running
never
forward.
turned back.
just like
Yep,
Forrest,
Forrest
just
Gump.
into the tunnel and all the way.
all the way
I
home.
got tired and decided to go home.
So let me pose this question. How do we feel about like we obviously had a whole regular season of the rules and stuff. Like what are the pros and the cons of the rules that you could think of that were good, that worked, and the rules that didn't? Well,
I
obviously
like
not people.
the 4-point. Obviously, that was great. But I
I saw a lot
think
of
I didn't
feedback on
care
that.
for like the punting after you
The
pass so
punting
many
after the 50.
yards.
So I want to ask you, DJ, because you were not crazy about that to
I
start the
didn't like it.
season. You didn't like it? I really enjoyed it. What I did not like was every single time a team got close to the 50 was the announcers were like, well, you can't punt with your inside the 50. You can't punt with your inside the 50. I got tired of hearing that every single freaking game, anytime a team got close to the 50. But the actual rule itself, I really enjoyed, and I think it made kind of the way the coaches would kind of scheme and go into a third down play made it a lot different what they would call, knowing whether they would have to go for a fourth down or not. So I really, really enjoyed that aspect of it. But I'm curious what you think. Kind of, you were a little bit of a naysayer going into the season with that rule.
That punt rule. The announcing it didn't really bother me, only because it's a lot of viewers, so you really have to reiterate that multiple times, and especially when they changed the rule, got to reiterate that whenever we had an overtime. I didn't like the fact that you would get over the 50 and then you end up getting a penalty and then you got to move back. Like, it was a couple times it was like 4th and long, like a couple games it was like 4th and long, and I'm like, bro, there's no way. Like, I get it, like you have to get some type of yardage, so that way when they take over, when the ball is turned over, the team won't have it like in it deep in their territory, in their own territory.
I mean, we did see a couple times where, a second down play, third down play, you get a sack. And so you moved it, and then we see a holding penalty, or I think we saw a personal foul or something like that to move them to, I mean, damn near, I think the 30, 35 a couple times.
Then you got to run the ball or get a good chunk of yardage just so that way when they get the ball, because of the turnover, that way they won't have a lot, like they will have more yardage to go. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it definitely is a scheme type of thing, and it's definitely a good, like the coaching has to be on point. Because you will mess around and then you will get in that ball and they already in field goal range. You know what I'm saying? So
I think even as a player, you have to be incredibly disciplined to not give up that sack, to not give up a stupid holding penalty or face mask or anything. Because you're going to hurt your team, and you're going to give the ball back with 30, 35 yards to score. So
Right.
I don't know, Jackie, were you saying you were not a fan of that rule?
Didn't like it. Get rid of it.
One thing I do want to add to one of the rules that I didn't like, but I understand it, was the 1 foot in bounds. Like, it was a lot of people that was like, it was real. Like, so when I'm watching, because I know it's an innovative league, so when I'm looking at certain rules or watching for certain rule changes and stuff like that, opposed to like the NFL, I'm trying to hear people that's like super huge NFL fans that's watching the games and trying to see the feedback. So the 4-point play was the biggest hit, I believe, because a lot of people was getting feedback on that. It was saying like, we need that in the NFL. We need that in the NFL. And another thing, like watching the games, even when I was at the games, people will say like, oh, he only got 1 foot in. That's out of bounds, So I think having 2 feet in, they should bring that back, only because you have to have. It's not college level anymore.
Yeah,
2 feet, complete the catch, get the catch.
Absolutely,
make it the right catch. Like, I don't want to see the 1 foot. I like that on college level, but once you get to the professional level, I need 2 feet.
Absolutely.
Show me control, show me possession.
1,000% agree with you on that. One of the rule changes that they made, that it kind of went a little under the radar, but we kind of reared its head a few times in the season, is the challenge rule of you cannot challenge a pre-snap play anymore. So you can only challenge something that happens during the actual play. So
you can't challenge a false start?
You can't challenge a false start. You can't challenge a defensive offsides, anything like that. And you can thank Birmingham for that rule change, because remember last year, I think it was the St. Louis game, they had a play where they threw an interception, and then they challenged that they false started on that play, won the challenge, got the ball back because the play was blown dead, ended up winning the game. So they took that rule out, but we've seen several times where there was a false start against the team, or offsides or something that led to a big play. I think we saw it with DC a few weeks ago. Shannon Harris tried to challenge it, that the team false started, and they wouldn't let him because it was before the play started, and he was pissed. He was like, "Nah, that's bull. I've challenged that before. I've done it before." That's what he was like, throwing his flag. He's like, I'm done. I don't know if you
Oh, I
remember that.
must have
It
been
was
that
a few
game.
weeks ago,
Must have been
but
that game.
that was I I understand why they made the rule change, but I think they need to tweak it. Another team should be able to challenge a penalty on their opponent. I don't think you should be able to challenge for a penalty on your own team to get the benefit of a play. But if a team false starts or goes off sides and the refs miss it, the other team should be able to challenge that play.
I agree with that because
Yeah.
that could change the game, like you said.
Absolutely.
The team can score in that
We
play.
saw it several times, and they would say, hey, well, you can't challenge it because it happened, at the snap, before the snap or whatever. And the other thing is, if you win your challenge, give them a challenge back. I think they did that last year.
Yeah.
They did away with it this year. Do that again. You know what? Give them 2 challenges if they win one. So those are the changes I would like to see kind of moving forward.
Did they say something about the challenge? You can't challenge on an untimed down or something like something like that. I was hearing it was confusing because it was like I can't remember exactly, but it caught me off guard because I think somebody was one of the coaches was trying to challenge something, and it was like you couldn't do it because
one of them was trying to challenge when they were reviewing it already. Like, wait until they're done reviewing it before you try to challenge. I remember that one.
There was one, and it might have been Redmond that did it. Like they reviewed a play. It was a catch or not catch or whatever. They called it incomplete or something, and he wanted to review it. And they looked at it, and he was like, "Well, I want to challenge it because I want y'all to look at it again."
I remember that one. Yeah.
They can't tell him. They're like,
it was like
we've already looked at it, and he's still like, "I want you to look at it again." And they're like, "All right, well, we already looked at it, so you lost your challenge." So that was like week 2 or something like that. But
I can't remember what it was. It's gonna come back to me.
You maybe, and I'm specifically remember Shannon Harris pissed off because he couldn't challenge a false start against the other team because it was before the snap, and so that was 3 weeks ago, I believe. So he was pissed on the sidelines. Like again, he was like, "I'm done. This is BS. I'm done." I was like, "What do you mean you're done, dude? Like, you'll be here next week. Shut up. Don't be all dramatic."
Yeah, man. That's yeah.
Well, you guys have been yapping all night. It's time to wrap it up. Yeah, exactly.
Sure.
It's time to,
Sure.
I gotta go to sleep, y'all. God dang. Anywho,
Jay, you had no business talking about, wrapping the show up early, all right? As much as you go over on Tuesdays, I don't even want to hear it from you.
Speaking of that, what do you got going on tomorrow?
Not this format. So
what do you got going on tomorrow?
Tomorrow we have none other than Cam Eccles joining us of the San Antonio Toros to talk about this last week's game against the Texas Syndicate and getting a little bit of inside perspective from a player standpoint. And we may be joined by a couple other people. I'm waiting on some responses. But for sure, Cam will be on. Cam seems to like us. I don't know why, but I really do appreciate that. And we just want to make sure that we kind of get that player perspective on how that game went. That even though we were the more dominant team, I really want to get his standpoint, not necessarily calling out the officials per se, but specifically how it feels when you're playing against a team and the referee. So a little bit of a preview of what we're going to have going on tomorrow. And there might be some bad words said, so make sure parents that you keep the kids out of the room. So
let them learn it. They gotta learn it someday.
Yep.
Not from this guy though.
Learn it from the best.
I will say though, you guys would have actually been somewhat surprised this weekend. We can possibly make that happen. But we had, I cannot remember the individual's name that was with us, and I'm not going to call him out regardless. But we did have a fan with us from the Toros fan base that had said something that was a little bit off color. that I didn't really agree with. And so I was like, hey, man, like, we're not going to do that. We didn't do that with the Brahmas. We're not doing it here. We're not going to be that fan base. The problem is there were some youngsters there, probably 14, 15-year-old boys, which, their mind is like that of a 4-year-old, a parrot, basically. And so then they started chirping everything that this guy had said. So then I had to have, the Viejo conversation with the kids and be like, guys, I understand you're bandwagon fans. You came to here to see your team, and your team is not good. And so now you're over here because our team is good. But if you're going to be over here, you need to represent our fan base the way we represent. And if you're going to use the potty words and stuff, you can go back over to your other side of the field. So I did the good thing, which is weird for me, right? Normally I'm like, heckle the players, it's fine, whatever. But there was that line. Once we kind of crossed it, I was like, we're not going to do that, guys. We're not going to be that fan base. We never have been. We never will be. We're not Philadelphia Eagles fans. So
Yes.
yeah, Fraggle Rock drama, babe. Fraggle Rock, just for you.
Fraggle
Yeah.
Rock. Well, anywho, make sure you catch our brothers tomorrow. Texas Talking Football. Right after them, alternative football panel comes on. And then you got some football on Saturday, so catch the games on Saturday. We'll have a couple more episodes left, and then we're for the season. But thank you
You
guys for
said
joining
Saturday.
us.
The games are on Sunday.
Oh, Sunday. My bad.
Yeah.
They're on Sunday, y'all. 2 games on Sunday. Anywho, we'll catch you next Monday
Yep,
when
for
we
sure.
talk about the games and championship. So, fare thee well, fans. Fare thee well.
Fare thee
Here
well.
lives on, guys. Vamos Toros.